Thank you very much, Ms. Connolly. Councillor Sampson, if you hit your green button, you're in.
Thanks very much, Your Worship, and thanks very much, Ms. Connolly, for this report. I just want a couple comments on that I have would be if we do decide to go with option 2, I think an extensive campaign through the means that we've been using for such a long time, so through the local newspaper, informing those folks who have seen it there of where they'll be able to find it would be of great value. So not just simply waiting that while, but if we really use that method for quite some time to inform them, this is what's coming, this is how you're going to find these postings in the future, this is how you're going to stay in tune. I think that would be very beneficial for the folks who've relied on it. But as I think would be no surprise to anybody, the physical paper medium is definitely dwindling to a degree, and trying to reach more folks in a more effective way, I think, is through online means. What we're finding, I think, would be interesting to hear is when there are, those contentious or really public interest public hearings, the media is often picking up on it as well. So it's not just what we advertise in the paper, or if we were to move to the Facebook or website method, people are going to hear through different means of media as well for those notices. So I'm supportive, and not only for those reasons. It's costing us on average, over $100,000 a year. That's a significant chunk of change that we can put into better resources for taxpayers and still get the message out clearly to them. So I think this is an all-around win. I've been saying for quite some time in meetings, in fact, I would say for the whole term, I've been asking, when's the legislation going to change? Have we heard anything? Is the legislation changing yet? And finally we're here. So I support option 2. My only question would perhaps be through to Ms. Rogers, if appropriate, on Facebook isn't our only means, and of course we're talking about using our subscription services and our website as well, but I guess, are we confident that our reach on Facebook and our website will overlap the majority of users who are seeing that in the paper?
I think I can say with confidence that our Facebook page will reach more people than the newspaper currently reaches. The newspaper can tell us how many papers they print. They can't tell us how many of those newspapers were used as fire starter or how many people read the ads. We can tell you how many people had our post show up in their newsfeed. If we spend $50, I can double that. So it's, if we have some of those more contentious public hearings, we could still spend a little bit of extra money and we could boost that post so that even people who don't follow us will receive that in their news feed. The other advantage to Facebook is that you don't have to have a Facebook account to go to Facebook and read our posts. You can't comment on them because you don't have a Facebook account, but they're all still they're still public.
Great. Thanks very much for that. I think, as I said, as we go through the process of moving to this means, if that's what passes tonight, I think just really letting people know along the way how they're going to be able to engage and interact with that, and would be great. And we can always reevaluate this in the future if for some reason we're finding people are not getting connected, but I anticipate they will be. So, so moved, option 2.
Second. Thank you. Councillor Scott, followed by Councillor McConaughey.
Thank you, Your Worship. I support what's on the floor. I just have a small question for Ms. Connolly. When we talk about newspaper in this report, is it the printed paper versus the electronic paper?
Your Worship, it is the printed paper. Our printed local newspaper does an online newspaper as well, but it refers to publishing in a printed newspaper, yes.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Councillor McConaughey, followed by Councillor Everett.
Thanks very much, Mayor Hall. And I totally understand the reason why we're here to talk about this. I'm also really mindful local media matters, and support of local media matters. I just want to ensure that I think I'm uncomfortable with Facebook being our primary source of people gathering their news. I really am. It's great for a lot of reasons. But yeah, no, I'm struggling with this one for sure. And it's not that I'm not, I don't embrace change, but I understand the importance of factual, true, timely information. So just to recap within here, would this mean that our website would be the primary location to get the information and then we could share it from there? I just want to clarify that.
Your Worship, through to Councillor McConaughey, yes, our website is our primary method. That would be the first that we would address in the bylaw. We use the website now. Currently, we use various aspects of it, from the council calendar page through to the public notices, as well as we have a subscriber function or feature on our website that allows individuals to sign up for public notices and news. So we currently use that and would continue to do so.
Thank you very much. I just wanted, just for people listening to that, you know, just to clarify that our website will be our primary source for everything happening in the city of Prince George. That is the place to go for the most relevant information. And then we're looking for other vehicles to amplify it. So all different areas of social media. It does have in the report, this doesn't mean that for more contentious issues or as deemed necessary that we could still use other methods. I think it's just, I think, yeah, I'll support option 2, just with the caveat of the words that I've just shared, and appreciate the opportunity to do so. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor McConaughey. Councillor Everett, green button, and you're in, and Councillor Sampson's up next.
Well, thank you, Your Worship, and I appreciate the discussions around this. There's a number of ways that the media can pick up our story and run with it, and they will do that. That's part of their business that they do every day. When they have a good story or when we have a bad story, either one, it goes out there, and our folks get to listen to it and hear it. And I think that Ms. Conlon, has said where our primary will be, and I think that as Rogers has said, if we wanted to enhance that, we could spend some money to enhance it, but we could try it out first, see how it works, see what the pickup is, and if it's necessary, then do a little bit of pushing on the website and Facebook and Twitter, whichever we want to do. Thank you, Your Worship.
Good. Thank you, Councillor Everett. Councillor Sampson.
Thanks for letting me back in, Your Worship. Just quick, I wanted to follow up on the financial piece. So I know the report says we're not anticipating any financial costs to option 2. I guess my question is, why, besides just waiting for a new council and timing it with that, why not go now? I see in the report we're at $81,000 roughly to date on spending, but we could go as high as about 140 as we've seen last year, for example. So why not move sooner and save some money?
So, Your Worship, the province has published some guidance materials for these legislative changes, and one of the areas in these guidance materials talks about the upcoming general local election in the fall, and how it is important to not only inform the public of ways that they're used to seeing public notice of impending changes, but also any legislation, any bylaw amendments related to election bylaws need to be adopted early on, months before the election. So with that sort of guidance, I think administration recommends sort of a longer period that aligns not only with the new council, but also allows members of the public to continue seeing election ads in the newspaper where they're used to seeing them in previous elections.
No, that's really smart. I appreciate that very much. I think for all the reasons of we're simply going to touch more people with the new way of doing things with option 2 and reach more folks and get them informed, I think that's reason enough. But the win of not spending $140,000 a year and finding better use for those tax dollars, I think is a massive bonus. So I'm definitely in favor and appreciate it very much. Thanks, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Sampson. Council, we have at C3 recommendation 2 on the floor. All those in favor of recommendation 2, those opposed, that's carried. Ms. Connolly.